I have previously done videos on what if Jamaican national team and Congolese national team starting 11s on the channel over the last couple of months, and on both occasions, there were lots of requests for a similar video for Nigeria. Go ahead and watch those two if you haven't already, and the format for this one is exactly the same. Being of Nigerian descent isn't enough, you have to be eligible to represent Nigeria by FIFA's own standards. The Nigerian national team is one of Africa's strongest national teams, having reached 6 of the last 7 World Cups and having won the African Cup of Nations 3 times. The country has also produced the likes of Finidi George, Nwankwo Kanu and JJ Okocha. There are a handful of brilliant current players they could have in their ranks right now if said players hadn't chosen to represent other nations. Here is our what if Nigerian 11 if all eligible players had chosen to represent them. Goalkeeper: Francis Uzoho. Vincent Onyema may well go down as the greatest Nigerian goalkeeper of all time, but the former Lille star hasn't played a competitive game of football for 2 years, and he hasn't played for Nigeria in 4 years. Our best candidate then is current Nigerian number 1 Francis Uzoho, who has won a mightily impressive 14 caps as a 20-year-old. Having come through the Aspire Academy in Qatar and the Deportivo La Coruña youth system, Uzoho was 6 foot 5 inches tall even as a teenager. He represented Nigeria at the 2018 World Cup as a 19-year-old and is currently on in Cyprus with Omonia. Right back: Ola Aina. Another current Nigerian international, Ola Aina represented England under 16, 17, 18, 19 and 20 level, but he pledged his international senior future to Nigeria in 2017. That was probably a shrewd decision by the youngster, since no nation on earth has his first competition for that right back spot as England. Aina has won 14 caps since then, he's gone on loan to Hull City and Torino, and he signed for Torino in the summer just gone for £9 million. The large fee was reflective of Aina's impressive performances on loan in Turin, and he's a pretty solid selection here. Centre back: Fikayo Tomori. Another Chelsea Academy graduate, Fikayo Tomori, has stuck around at Stamford Bridge following a trio of loan moves, and he's now reaping the rewards under Frank Lampard. The 21-year-old has previously had stints at Brighton, Hull City, alongside Ola Aina, and last season under Frank Lampard at Derby County. He has been handed a chance in the first team at Stamford Bridge this season, and he's looked very solid, even scoring a really impressive goal away at Wolves. Tomori is eligible to represent Canada since he was born there, Nigeria through his parents, and England since he was raised here. He made 3 appearances for Canada's under-20s, but has been a regular for England's under-19s, 20s and 21s over the last few years, and I should think he'll keep pushing for an England call-up if he can become a mainstay in this Chelsea side. Centre-back: Manuel Akanji. Partnering Fikayo Tomori at centre-back is a man who is a full international, but not for Nigeria. Manuel Akanji was born in Switzerland to a Swiss mother and a Nigerian father, and understandably chose to represent Switzerland at both youth and senior level. He has been capped by the UEFA Nations League finalists 13 times, having won his first caps while starring for Basel. The 24-year-old joined Borussia Dortmund in 2018, making 31 appearances in his debut campaign, and he has been a regular fixture for the German Giants in the early parts of this season. He's a pretty obvious inclusion at the heart of our defence. Left back: David Alaba. Arguably the outstanding individual in this entire team, and certainly the best in relation to their position, David Alaba is one of the finest fullbacks of his generation. Born in Vienna to a Filipino mother and a Nigerian father, who is actually a prince, a rapper and a DJ, Alaba could have represented Nigeria, the Philippines or Austria. He has been a part of the Austria setup since the age of 15 though, so there are never really too many doubts about which nation he would represent. At the age of 27, Alaba has already won 71 caps for Austria, and he'll most likely go on to become their all-time record appearance holder. Defensive midfield: Wilfred Ndidi. Thankfully for Nigeria, Wilfred Ndidi isn't just one of the best players in this 11, he's also one of the few that actually represents Nigeria. The 22-year-old was born in the Nigerian capital of Lagos, and he broke into the national team at the age of 18. Ndidi was playing for Genk in Belgium at the time, but in December 2016, he sealed a £16 million move to Leicester City. Following the sale of N'Golo Kante, Ndidi was tasked with plugging that gap, an unenviable task for a 20-year-old. He has been superb for the Foxes these last couple of seasons though, and he's now a key man for Nigeria with 32 caps to his name already. Central midfield: Dele Alli. Dele Alli hasn't looked himself for a little while now, struggling to really impact games in the way in which we came to expect from him, with 4 hamstring injuries in 2 seasons, preventing him from gathering up any kind of momentum. Ali was born in Milton Keynes to a Nigerian father and an English mother, but his father emigrated to the United States when Ali was only 2 weeks old, and his mother was an alcoholic. From the age of 13, Ali was raised by the family of a fellow MK Dons Academy player, and since 2016, he has had the name Deli on the back of his shirt rather than Ali. At his best, Ali is a devilishly clever central attacking midfielder who makes brilliant runs, has intelligent movement even in the tightest of spaces, and can score plenty of goals. He bagged an incredible 22 goals in the 2016-17 season, which is basically prime Frank Lampard / Yaya Toure numbers, but he hasn't been able to replicate that in subsequent seasons. Clearly Ali is in a bit of a slump, but I'm still a fan, he's only 23, and I don't think his best football is behind him at that age. Ali's international allegiance never seemed to be in doubt, and having represented England at 4 different youth levels, he has since won 37 senior caps. Central midfield, Ross Barkley. We have 2 Premier League stars and 2 England internationals partnering one another in central midfield, and those 2 are likely to be battling out for a place in the England side over the next few years, along with the likes of James Maddison, Mason Mount and Phil Foden. Ross Barkley burst onto the scene with a bang at Everton, looking aggressive, brilliant on the ball and capable of some moments of real magic. His career looked to be stagnating before a transfer to Chelsea in January 2018, and he's yet to hit top form for Chelsea either. The 25-year-old had a really positive pre-season with the Blues, but has failed to transfer that into the season itself as Mason Mount has grabbed most of the midfield headlines. Barkley was eligible to represent Nigeria through a Nigerian grandparent, but he unsurprisingly opted to represent the nation of his birth. To date, Barkley has won 31 caps for England, and Gareth Southgate seems to be a big fan. Right wing, Alex Iwobi. Alex Iwobi probably prefers to operate off the left flank, but he can play on either, and the balance of this side looks best with him out wide on the right. Iwobi was born in the Nigerian capital of Lagos, and a Nigerian legend, JJ Okocha, is his uncle. Iwobi's family moved to London at the age of 4, and Iwobi joined the Arsenal Academy at the age of 8. As a bright prospect at the Emirates, Iwobi represented England at the 16, 17 and 18 level, but in 2015 he accepted a senior call-up from Nigeria. Iwobi, who joined Everton for a potential £34 million last month, has since won 36 caps for the Super Eagles. Left wing, Ademola Lookman. From a current Everton winger to a former one, on the left flank is youngster Ademola Lookman. Signed by Everton from Charlton, Lookman didn't get many first-team opportunities at Goodison Park, but he impressed on loan at RB Leipzig in the Bundesliga. Following 5 goals in 11 games, Lookman joined the German side for a reported £22.5 million this summer. Both of Lookman's parents are Nigerian, but the 21-year-old was born and raised in England. To date, he has represented England at 3 different youth levels, but he is yet to win a senior cap. Provided things go well in Germany, one would expect Lookman to hold out for an opportunity with the 3 lines. Centre forward, Tammy Abraham. The Nigerian national team themselves have plenty of options at centre forward, but they'd have even more options if one considered players eligible to represent the nation that don't. One such player, and the pick of the bunch I would suggest, is Chelsea striker Tammy Abraham. Still only 21, Abraham has plenty of experience under his belt, having had loan spells with Bristol City, Swansea City and Aston Villa. He bagged 26 goals at Bristol City as a teenager, only 8 at Swansea City, but 26 again at Aston Villa as the club won promotion to the Premier League last season. With a transfer ban in place at Stamford Bridge, and without an outstanding centre-forward in their squad, Abraham is one of a handful of young players Frank Lampard has handed an opportunity to in West London this season. In 6 Premier League outings, Abraham has bagged 8 goals, meaning he keeps Olivier Giroud and Michy Batshuayi out the starting 11. Abraham is a full England international, although his 2 caps for the 3 lines both came back in 2017, and he hasn't made a squad since. The team, including substitutes and a manager. Moving on to the supporting cast, our backup goalkeeper, as Nigeria's second best goalkeeper, is the more experienced Daniel Akpeyi. The 33-year-old plays his club football in South Africa, having only recently signed for Kaizer Chiefs, and he's been capped 16 times for the Super Eagles. As a backup option at centre-back, we have Italian international Angelo Ogbonna, who has looked a little error-prone during his time at West Ham, but is still a 2-time Serie A winner, and both his parents are Nigerian. Instead of an out-and-out fullback on the bench, next up is Victor Moses, whose versatility makes him an excellent substitute. Capped 38 times by Nigeria, Moses is happiest playing on the wing, but did an admirable job for Chelsea as a wing-back under Antonio Conte as the team won a Premier League title. In holding or central midfield, Wilfred Ndidi's deputy is Philip Billing. Called up by the Danish national team but never officially capped, Billing rejected an approach from Nigeria in November 2018, and the 23-year-old was signed by Bournemouth for £15 million following Huddersfield's relegation last season. Nigeria's own international captain John Obi Mikel, or John Mikel Obi, has to make the squad due to his excellent displays for the national team. The 32-year-old is a bona fide Nigerian legend. He made over 350 appearances for Chelsea, and he was the Blues' pivot when they won the Champions League final in 2012. In terms of players who just missed out, I should give honourable mentions to the likes of Dominic Solanke, Ahmed Musa, Odion Ighalo, Sidney Sam, Dennis Ugo, and Stefano Akaka. In charge of this side, there isn't a plethora of managerial talent out there, but I'll go with one of Nigeria's all-time greats in the form of Sunday Oliseh. The 45-year-old turned out for the likes of Juventus, Ajax, and Borussia Dortmund his playing days, and he has since managed the Nigerian national team and Eredivisie side Fortuna Sittard. To recap, our what-if Nigerian 11 reads like this: Francis Ezohu, Ola Aina, Fikayo Tomori, Manuel Akanji, David Alaba, Wilfred Ndidi, Dele Alli, Ross Barkley, Alex Iwobi, Ademola Lookman, and Tammy Abraham, with the bench made up of Daniel Akpeyi, Angelo Ogbonna, Philip Billing, John Obi Mikel, Jordan Ibe, and Emmanuel Adebayor. That's it for today's video. Congratulations on making it to the end of the video. Since you've got this far and in exchange for eternal good luck and happiness, why not subscribe and turn on notifications for the ever-brilliant HITC7s. Also, for mobile users, if you click on your screen now there should be some suggestions of other videos YouTube thinks you might like, and I agree with YouTube. If you're watching on desktop, they should appear of their own accord. Thank you all for watching, give us a like if you enjoyed the video, and I hope you have a brilliant day.